Today we're going to look at how to build the most muscle possible as a natural lifter. To do this, we're looking at it in two different ways. One, what muscles will grow the largest, and two, what muscles will make us look the biggest. Next, we're going to split the body into upper and lower. We carry a lot more muscle on our low body and have the greatest potential to add size here. Everyone will be a bit different, but to illustrate what the largest muscles are in an untrained man, I'm using a picture from an article by Menno Henselmans. He's a well-known fitness trainer and researcher. When we look at the photo, we see quads are the biggest muscle group on the body, followed by glutes, and it might surprise some that calves are in third. So we need to build these if we're trying to get as big as possible. As far as show muscles go, the vastis medialis is seen when we wear shorts, and so are our calves. I consider glutes a performance muscle. They help support our low back when we lift heavy and are responsible for creating explosive power. One of my natty freak physique rules is we must perform as good as we look. Strong, muscular glutes accomplish this by adding more overall mass to the body and taking our performance to the next level. Some feel all we need is squats to get great glutes and quads. Squats are a good exercise, but depending on body mechanics, you may not be going low enough to target the glutes. They're worked in the stretch position at the bottom of the squat. A couple of things you can do to get a deeper squat is to take a wide stance, or you can elevate your heels. Glutes also need to be worked in the contracted position. Squats don't do a good job of this, but you can choose exercises that not only hit the glutes, but include the hamstrings, the next largest muscle group after the calves. My recommendation would be Romanian deadlifts, or an even better option would be cable pull-throughs. These exercises work the glutes and the hamstrings through the hip hinge. To achieve complete development, we also need to target the hamstrings from the knee hinge with a movement like hamstring curls. This leaves calves before we move on to the upper body. Genetics plays a role here with muscle insertions and fiber type. Still, from a performance and aesthetic standpoint, we need to train calves. Standing calf raises targets the larger gastrocnemius muscle, and seated emphasize the soleus. We need to work both of these to get the most possible size. Going back to our picture, we see that delts are the largest muscle group on the upper body, followed by pecs and lats. Delts are super important when building the natty freak physique. Once you obtain 3D delts, people start to question whether you're even natural. There's a lot of crossover between the chest and traps when building our shoulders. With incline presses, there's some debate as to what's working more, the upper chest or the anterior delts. Of the three heads on the shoulder, the rear one is most often lagging, and we need to maximize it to get that 3D look. It gets hit with all rowing movements, but particularly well when your elbows are out and away from your body and more in line with your shoulders, like when we do an elbow-out chest-supported row. Having the bench set at 30 degrees recruits more mid-traps and rear delts, and when we move the bench to a steeper 45-degree angle, it brings more of the lateral delts into play. Shoulders are a great body part to superset, as you push for the front delts and pull for the rear. I would suggest supersetting a neutral grip shoulder press for the anterior delts with a 45-degree elbow-out row for the rear and lateral delts. The next largest muscle is the chest, and my favorite chest builder is dumbbell bench press. As much as possible, you want to use compound movements as they allow you to lift heavier and ultimately build more muscle. Lats are the next muscle you need to target to get big. For complete development, you should work it with both horizontal and vertical pulling movements. Rows are a horizontal exercise, and pulling your elbow to your side while performing them targets the lats, also working the mid-traps and rear delts to some degree. Pull-ups and lat pull-downs hit the back on the vertical plane, effectively working more than just the lats. The lower portion of the traps are targeted as well. To get more activation, let your scapula elevate in the bottom position, then pull it back and down as you begin your pull. Upper traps are an essential muscle when it comes to looking big and building that natty freak physique. When you see someone with muscular traps, you immediately think of strength and power, so it's worth adding shrugs to your program. The middle and lower traps will get sufficiently worked with the rest of your back exercises. Triceps provide more muscle mass for our upper body than the traps, and women voted arms as the sexiest body part on a man, so you know they're going to rank high when it comes to muscles that make you look like a natty freak. Now, biceps are the smallest muscle group on the body, but they have a significant impact on the look of our arms. Both biceps and triceps need to be worked equally, and a great way to do this is with a superset. If you want to work them in a stretch position, You'd superset incline curls with incline tricep extensions. Many actors in Hollywood have jacked physiques. There's even a few over 50. To find out what they say the one thing jack guys over 50 do, watch this video next and keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.